Hello everyone, welcome to my channel IT Sector Tales. In this third video of list data type, we will be looking into the methods which are available for list. So let's get to it. First method is a index function. So this is an inbuilt method in Python. How it works is I'm simply printing the output of this index function. Now how do you use the index function? I will use my same list days in week, which comprises of all the days in the week in a string format. So this is the list here, days in week, and I'm simply trying to use the function called index. So I use the syntax as the list name dot function name, and this function requires an input of the data which you're looking for. So this function will return me the index at which this particular data is present. So let me run this. Yep, so it returned me the index as 1. Remember, because index starts with 0, so Monday was 0 and Tuesday is 1. Now what if I search for a index of a item in a list which is not present in it? So what if I search for data with number 1? So this list does not has any number, and if I run this program, it will hit me back with an error. So this is how the index method works. Let's have another example of creating a temp list. It will have all numbers. So I have these particular numbers in it. Save it. And now I want to print the index of a item in this list which has value as 3. So there are 2 items in this list which have value as 3. So this index function will by default return the index value of the first item it encounters in the list. So let's run this program. Yep, so it returned 2. So 1 was at 0th position, 2 is at 1st position, and first 3 is at the 2nd position. So the index method returned me the number 2. The second function we'll learn about is append. What does append function do? It will simply append a value to the list at the end of the list. We'll use the temp list and we will call the function append, and we will simply insert a new item which is a string and has value as new. So let's print this particular value. So the entire list is to be printed, so I'm using the list name. Let's run this. Yep, so after appending the item, it is added to the list at the rear end of the list. The next function for adding stuff to my list is the insert function. So as append will add the item to the end of the list, insert will add the item to whatever index you mention. So let's insert a item which has text insert. So I'm inserting this at the first position. So first position is here, where currently I have my item with the number with the text as 2. So after inserting, let me print this list. So the list after insert is and my list. Let's run this. Yes, so after insert, my list has the insert item added in it at the required position which I mentioned in the function call itself. After insert, we also have a function called join. So let's have another list called new temp list, and we will have items in it like A1, another item B1, and the last item as C1. And I'm simply gonna print the output of the join function. So what is the syntax for that? You have to first add a character, okay, and dot join, and join function will require the list name in which you want to apply this particular character. So what will happen is, each of the item for this particular list will be appended with this particular symbol or character which you added. So let's run this program. Yes, so I get my list value as A1 the star symbol, B1 the star symbol, and then C1. So this is how the join function works. The third function which we'll be seeing in our list is remove and pop function. So how does the remove function work? You write the list name and use the function remove and just mention what value you want to remove from this particular list. So previously I added a value or a item which had the value as insert. Now I simply want to remove that item. So remove function takes the item value. Previously we also learned there is a del function. That del function used the index. It will just require the index value for the item which you want to remove. So let me print this temp list and run it. Yes, so the insert item is removed and I can see the original list. Let me again insert this new the removed value from my list. I am using the insert function and index value. I am adding the insert item at index number 1. Now let's do the another function for removing an item. I will use the pop method. So how does that work? I will call my list and use the pop function and remove the item at index 1. That is, again I am removing this. So let me print remove function and after using the pop function I will print my temp list. So after pop function, this is my temp list. Let's save it and run it. So after remove function, the insert value was removed. Then I again inserted the value, and with the pop function I again removed that particular item. The difference between del and pop is that the pop function will provide you with the item which it just removed from your list. So this particular popped item, if you print it, it will show you which item it was removed, but del function never returns anything. So these are the two scenarios in which you can decide which particular function you want to use. So let's run this. Yep, so popped item was insert, and after calling the pop function, this was the new list. So this was a remove and pop function, and previously we saw the del function. Next function for available for list is sort. So consider a list called temp list 2, and this comprises of numbers which are 3, 1, 9, 4 and 2. I'll just use the name of the list temp list 2 and call the sort function. This doesn't requires any input. The L is capital. Okay. After sorting, I will just print this list temp list 2 after sorting. So let's run this. So originally my list was this, but after sorting it arranged all of my items in the list as per a ascending order. Let me again have the list in the same order. I will initialize my list to the same values, and now I will sort the list and provide a parameter to it called reverse, and I will provide the value of it as true. And let's print this temp list 2 again. Let's run this. So initially it sorted it in ascending order, and since I mentioned reverse is equal to 2, it sorted the list in a descending order. That is, the number with the larger value is taken as first. The last method which we'll be seeing for list is reverse. So let's create a list called temp list 3. This will have values. We'll take some string values. We'll say them as Bob, Alice, Dean and Kathy, and we'll just use the name of this list, temp-list3, and call the function reverse. This doesn't requires any input, and we'll simply print our list. Save it and run it. So it printed all of the characters in the reverse manner. So the last character is printed first, and similarly the second last character is printed second. So this is the reverse function. So these are the methods which you can use. Generally we use the functions instead of actually getting a value from a list, which we learned in previous methods. So these functions will do come handy when you write a bigger problem statement or a code for yourselves. Hope this video was useful. If yes, please do hit like, share and subscribe. I'll meet you in the next video. Thank you.